the luxury of time, anticipating what to say on this inevitable day. I've been awaiting the arrival of this event, and Dad asked 3 things of us. Be ready, don't let it get you down, and press on. But I don't feel quite as prepared as I imagined I would. Marvin had been ill for some stretch, as many of you know. For years, he predicted his own passing on a regular basis, and I know he was genuinely surprised, but delighted to outlive his mistaken predictions. He never lost his sense of humor or acceptance of life's uncertainty. He sometimes urged me to make a decision. Honey, make up your mind already. I could be hit by a bus tomorrow. Or he would tell me not to make reservations for Chinese food on Sunday, just in case he had a heart attack. 53 years of Marvin. What a lucky girl I've been. I have received an outpouring of love from my friends and family, all lauding my dad. The overarching theme is that my dad was one of a kind, larger than life, and a remarkable man. He was so much fun. He had the most enormous smile, an infectious, irresistible laugh. When he laughed, everyone else had to laugh with him. My dad was always inclusive, generous beyond expectations, warm and loving, and genuinely interested in everyone he met, no matter their station, their education, their culture, or their politics. I can't say the same for me. My childhood girlfriends, most of whom are here today, have all said similar things about my dad, that he was a dad to all of us, and a really good one too. Many remember my dad coaching our soccer team and never missing a practice or a game. They talk about his smile, and they reminisce that he was the favorite dad. He would wrap his arms around every one of my friends every time he would see them, hugging them warmly, and he would ask everyone about their lives. Marvin was wrapping his arms around me and my friends right up until the very end. That's the amazing thing. My dad honestly cared about you, and you knew he sincerely cared. Everyone who knew my dad felt valued. Michael and I are so lucky to have been loved by Marvin for our entire lives. As I've reminisced these last few months, I recalled memories of warm, soft summer nights at twilight, having the pajama-clad, pre-bedtime catch with my dad and Michael in our backyard. Marvin always made sure that I got to catch and toss that ball as often as my brother Michael. It was all about fair play and connection with my brother. That is perhaps the greatest gift my dad and my mom Marvin ever gave me, my relationship with Michael. Dad was emphatic that we were there to love and support each other throughout our entire lives. I sincerely believe that because of the way Mike and I were raised, we have a unique sibling bond of mutual respect and love. I am certain that our closeness is also a reflection of Marvin's lifelong relationship with our Uncle Norman. I have only seen one pair of brothers as close and mutually kind to one another as Marvin and Norman. It is the relationship between my 2 sons, Ariel and Yaniv. Our boys carry forward Grandpa Marvin's sense of loyalty to one another. Marvin lives inside of them. Last year, we shared a family trip that became a favorite experience for Marvin, who was awarded 8 Medals of Valor when he was in the Army. We took him to Washington, D.C., and arranged a private tour of the monuments in Arlington National Cemetery. Major General Robert Scales shepherded Marvin and us as his honored guests through the city, culminating in a visit to the tomb of the unknown soldier. He bestowed upon Marvin the high honor of laying a wreath at the tomb of the World War II veteran, as a World War II veteran, and a member of the greatest generation. It was a poignant coda in in my father's life. The visit was a salute to his service for his country and a life well lived. Dad carried in his pocket every day the photograph of himself standing at attention while taps was being played. We removed that well-worn photo, folded into squares, from his trousers on Monday. I believe that this trip may have been the most wonderful gift we could have ever given our dad. It was an intense moment when Dad let go of the world on Monday. I felt so much positive energy released in the room, giving me hope that a piece of Marvin lives inside of every person who has known him. Dad asked me many times to always remain sincere and ethical and to pay attention. I can do that. Dad told all of us that he wanted to die in his sleep, peacefully and without fanfare or extraordinary efforts to impede his exit. He told us that he wanted to pass after saying goodbye to his children, his grandchildren, and to Phyllis. He got just what he wanted. One by one, he spoke to each of us, and he said the most heartfelt, beautiful farewells. On Monday, there we were standing or sitting around him in repose, holding his hands or his feet, connected to him and connected by him. With grace, my one-of-a-kind dad took his last breath in, exhaled ever so softly, like a grace note to a lyrical life. As I make the shift into life without father, I'd like to talk to my dad for a moment. Dad, here are some of the things that I'm going to miss the most. Your signature whistle when you enter the house. And right now I can't whistle because that whistle. Thank you, Michael. Our weekly breakfasts together at the Utopia Diner on 73rd and Amsterdam. The two of us amusing ourselves for hours while driving around the town taking care of errands. You sitting in my kitchen, reading the paper, or napping in the living room with one of the cats sleeping on your lap. Hearing you and the boys in another room laughing. Sharing a meal and having you put half your dinner on my plate. Telling me a joke that you've told me dozens of times and laughing just as hard as though it's the first time, because you know I always forget the punchline. Mailing me swag from American Express membership giveaways of random office supplies. Curling up together and watching one of our favorite classic movies and editorializing with each other out loud throughout the whole movie. Having you protectively grab my arm as we cross every street. Your over-the-moon excitement for Jessica and Rob's engagement and the boys' success in their careers. And most of all, loving my children the way that you do, loving my husband the way that you do, loving me the way that you do. I will miss